because they don't have a talent like you. They don't have a talent like you. Okay, so you have to just understand that this is why they are they are just mocking it. Whatever you speak, it is not because you are wrong, but it is because they are wrong. Their attitude is wrong. Okay, so you have to understand that, and you have to you need not correct yourself. It's their problem, and you need not get into their problem at all. So keep them away. Okay, just keep them away in the sense you just don't get those reactions into your mind. Okay, you just leave it. Anything else left unaddressed?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so when you're just keeping yourself away from all these fears, then your presentation will be very easy. So now we'll just get into our presentation. I'll share my PPT. Okay. So why should we have this oral presentation? So what is the necessity of having this? See, in business communication, we are just having our business communication here. We are just getting into our business communication and we are just learning it. So here, business people, they consider this oral presentation as an important skill. Okay, so they want you people to present in such a manner that they are impressed by it, and they want you people to be there working in their organization. Okay, so for recruitment, they keep this oral presentation also as a main criteria. Okay, so they might ask you to present something in the before the interviewers. Okay, they can ask you to do some short lectures, or they can ask you to do some business presentation. Okay, so anything is possible. So if you are going to present it in a very poor manner, this will reduce your professional image. So you must be very careful, because see, if a company is going to recruit you and they are going to send you to another company to present about their company, and if you are just going to present very in a very poor manner, what will happen? Both your image and the company's image will go down. So they'll be very conscious that you present it in a attractive manner and in a intelligent manner. Okay, so this is the purpose of oral presentation. So what is the nature of it? Okay, so there is always a purpose for you to present a presentation, oral presentation. Okay, so you will have a purpose. So maybe they have given you a topic, or maybe you want to promote your business, or maybe you want to invite your audience, or maybe you would like to share your experience with somebody. Whatever, there will be some purpose behind a oral presentation. Okay, and the second thing is it should be interactive. Both the speaker and the listener should be benefited, so they should have some interaction between them. Then it will be more effective. Okay, it should be more formal. It should be more formal, and it should be more audience oriented. Okay, so if you are just going to prepare something for the audience, you should know what type of audience you are going to have. So you cannot just go and speak about business to school children. So 5th standard, 6th standard students, if you're just going to meet some primary school students, just imagine you're just going to meet some primary school students. You need not speak about business. What will they know about business? So you must know your audience. So you have to know, you have to understand, you have to read your audience even before presenting something. So you should keep your audience in your mind, and then you have to prepare. Okay. So these are the nature of oral presentation. This should be there always in your mind. Okay, before you present. So what are the forms of oral presentation? It can be in a seminar, you present a paper or an article. In a workshop also, you can just present. You can have a discussion. In symposium also you can have, and normal student presentation. Industry conference, you can just present about your business, and you can just share about your ideas about some particular topic. Okay, product launch, when you launch a product, you can just present, and in press conferences you can present, and team presentation is also there. Okay, so these are other forms of oral presentation.
Symposium means it's a lecture, no? Symposium.
Yeah, symposium is a lecture, but it will be like more of a discussion that they make. Okay, we will have 4 or 5 people sitting there and discussing about the particular topic, and they'll arrive at something, and we can also have some presentations also there to support their idea. It will be more of discussion. Okay. Okay, then what are the objectives of a presentation? So for professional students, it is for their report, progress report, and students seminar, and for research presentation, this will be more helpful. For scientists and engineers, they have to present their reports, isn't it? Maybe they have invented something and they want to present it. So for that, they'll be using this. And then for business executive, maybe you have just manufactured a new product, or maybe you have just made some changes in your product. So you have to just take it to your audience, or to your to your customers, or to your clients, to your business partners. So there you just, what you do is you just present your ideas to them. Okay, so that is again the objective for business executives. Okay, so how can you make it more effective? How can you make it more effective? So when you present in such a manner that you make your audience accept whatever you say. So that is what we call it as persuasive way. You present in such a manner that the audience is able to accept whatever you say. Okay, so you have to make a presentation in such a manner that they are attracted towards you. How can you make it attractive? Make it interesting. Okay, so you make it interesting so that they are attracted towards you. Okay, you can use visuals, but visuals should be limited. Okay, not too many pictures, or not too many letters there, or not too many bulleting there. Okay, bullet points, you give points, isn't it? So not too many informations there and slides and all. So you must be very careful when you do a visual presentation or a PPT. Then you have to reflect confidence while speaking. So you must show your confidence, that you are confident enough in whatever you speak, because you have made this research on whatever you're going to speak. You have made some background study. You know what you're speaking. So be confident in whatever you speak. Okay. So you must be able to begin your presentation in an effective way. Maybe you can just start with, see, how did we start this presentation about presentation skill? I just asked you a few questions about what are the fears that you have, and I also gave you some solution, isn't it? So you can start in such a manner that you can attract your audience and keep them intact in whatever you present. Okay, so your beginning should be more interesting and effective, and whatever idea you just give, let it be logical. Let it not be fantasy, or maybe illogical. It should be logical. It should be acceptable. Okay, so you have to conclude it with some memorable thing. Okay, so say something which just keeps the presentation always in their mind. Okay, so you have to follow these 4 P's. You have to plan, you have to prepare, you have to practice, and then you have to perform. Don't just come and perform anything on the stage. First you plan, then you prepare. The raw preparation should be there. Then you have to practice it again and again and again, and then you come to the performance. Then you won't have the thing called fear. You will not have. You will not have. So maybe the first time everybody will have stage fear, and stage fear is a very common thing. Everybody will have. Everybody will have. Okay, even a politician who speaks on the stage will have this stage fear. Don't no think that they won't have. Everybody will have. But the thing is, the way they overcome it is maybe different. The way they overcome. Okay, sometimes people get used to the stage, and so they don't even feel like they are standing on the stage and speaking. So that will obviously remove their fear. Okay, so that's why I said, if you have stage fear, you have to often go on the stage and speak something, and then you will get rid of your fear. Okay, yes. We'll go to the next slide. How will you plan the presentation? So your planning should be based on what you are trying to say to your audience. Okay, so it should inform something to the audience, or it should instruct them to do something, or it should persuade them towards something. Maybe you are introducing a new product. You have to convince the audience that your product is the best product, and you should make these people to buy your product. So that is how your presentation should be. Okay, the way you present. Just imagine the advertisement for this washing powder. Have you seen? For this Tide, have you seen?
Yes, ma'am.
The Tide powder will be just crossing, and this white color will just become bright color. Yes. So what the audience is in need of is, they need a powder that can just give a bright white color, because that is what they are just longing for. Okay, so this is something, this is how they present. How are they presenting? They are presenting in such a manner that they persuade, they make the audience feel that only this powder can give such a brightness. Okay, so actually this is something like bleaching. Okay, have you heard of the word bleach? So what is bleach? The color will just fade and it will become white. So that is what we call it as bleach. So this is something like a bleaching powder. Okay, so when you just put it in a white cloth, then what will happen? A bright color will come there. Okay, so this is what is happening actually. But how are they convincing you that only this powder can give you this brightness, none other than this powder? So this is how you persuade people. And you can also assist them in, we are just planning to maybe whether to buy this car, or whether to buy some other car. You have to just help them. Like maybe you can say that you have a easy EMI scheme. Okay, so you can buy this car though it is costly. You can buy this car because we have an EMI option for such and such category people. So you can just try buying the car. Okay, so you aid them, you help them in their decision making. So this is how your presentation should be. This is how you have to plan the presentation. Okay, I think it is just given there. So to inform, in the sense, you have to share some information to these people. Okay, you inform them, this is what we are just going to do. So an example is just given there. A stockbroker might use an informative presentation to tell clients about projected changes in the stock market. Okay, so you have made some changes in the stock market. So you are just trying to say to your clients that this is what is the change that we have made. Just I'll make it very simple. So as I said, you have a product already. You have a product. Okay, and maybe your customers have just made complaints like it is not that good, it is just spoiling the cloth. Okay, so what you can do is you can improve your product, saying that you have added one more ingredient which can just soften the material that you are using. Okay, so what will happen is when you tell them that we have added this to our product, so now you won't have any problem with the spoiling of the cloth. So this is how you are just introducing it. Okay, so this is to inform the customers, okay, that you have just made some changes. Please mute yourself, ma. What is instruct? So who will be instructing? Maybe here we have an example. An instructional presentation from a building contractor, for instance, might detail all the steps needed to plan construction, install water and electrical systems, and more. Maybe you're just planning to buy a house. Not a built house, maybe you just want to build a house. Okay, so you can just get a consultation from a builders, from some builders. Okay, there you will have a constructor or a building contractor, who will just explain what they will be doing in the house they are going to build for you. So they'll be just saying how many rooms they'll be having, and how are they going to plan their construction, and they'll say where they will be installing the water. Okay, and where they will have what type of electrical system they'll be having. Okay, so this is how they are just instructing you. So this is how it will be. So seeing that, if you're convinced, then you can just go for the building. Okay. So as I said, persuade is something like you have some attitude already. Maybe you have just planned not to vote for certain um, uh, what maybe not to ADMK or not to DMK, or maybe you would have decided that you have to go for Nota while voting. Okay, so this is what is just going on in your mind. You don't have belief in any of the parties. Okay, any of the political parties, but you are just listening to some politician speaking and you get persuaded by that. Okay, maybe they're just talking about the corruption and how they are going to just eradicate corruption, and they're talking about how they're going to help poor people. Okay, listening to those talks, you feel and you change your attitude. Okay, you change your belief, you change yourself and you say, okay, I will vote for this party. Okay, so this is persuasive. Okay, this is how you persuade somebody. Okay, so this is how you do it. So I have just given the example for you. For decision making, I already told you, isn't it? For decision making, if you are not able to decide something, then you can just help them to decide on that. Okay, yes. So based on these, we have six presentation skills here, and we are just going to see each separately. Okay, you can just have a reading. One is coach style, connector style, freeform style, instructor style, and then storytelling and visual style. So these are the six styles that we have in presentation. Style is the way you present. Okay. So this is a coach style. The word coach itself just gives the meaning. So who is a coach in a sport? Who is a coach?
In the games, there will be a trainer, ma'am.
Yeah, someone like a trainer. Very good. Very good. The word trainer is the best word for the coach. So what he does is he trains people. So maybe I'll just give you an example. Maybe he's just talking about personality development. Okay, personality development. So in personality development, you must know how you have to sit and how you have to shake your hands, and you should know how to welcome somebody and how to thank somebody. These are something very basic, but it speaks a lot about you to others. Okay, so a coach, when he is trying to present something on personality development, what he will do is he will start training you while doing the presentation. How will you train you? Maybe he will ask you people to stand up and shake your hands with the other person. So when you shake your hands, there are certain things that you have to follow in a personality development course. So he'll be just teaching you how you have to shake your hands. If you hold it very tight, then it shows that you are not a person who is not who is afraid of the other. Okay, so it has to be light and it has to be there for few seconds, not for too long. Excuse me. So this is how you have to make the other person understand how you have to shake your hands. Then the person can ask you to sit on your chair, considering the presenter to be your manager. So how will you sit? Okay, are you just going to sit like this, folding your arms tight, or are you just going to sit in a casual manner without bothering about the manager standing there? Okay, so you have to just make yourself comfortable, but at the same time you must keep the etiquette there. Okay, you have to just make yourself decent before your manager. So all these things he will be just making you practically do everything before the presentation and during the presentation and maybe after the presentation also. So this is how he trains people during the presentation. Then it is called as coach style. Got it? So if the presenter is going to train, then you call it as the coach style. Got it? Yes. Next is the connector style. Connector style is the speaker always has a connection with the listener. Maybe you can do it to a small group. If you have a small group, it is very easy for the speaker to communicate with the audience. Okay, so always they communicate with the audience, and they have the concern of the audience. Maybe they ask questions, maybe they interact with those people, they get something from them, and then they present. Okay, so here we can just say that this type of presentation also includes free form. Okay, no rigid form is there, it is just a free form. So you can ask some question and they can answer, and you can just always keep them occupied so that they don't get themselves distracted. Okay, you always communicate with them, and you have a style which just connects you to the person. Okay, so this is yet another style, and a free form style. Free form style, you just make yourself very closer to the audience. How do you make it? You just crack some jokes. Okay, you just say some jokes. You always use some humor, so that you just keep them always there with you. Say some stories. Okay, say a few points, and you just ask them to keep it in their mind, and then you can ask them later what are those points. Okay, so you can keep them reminding about what you are saying. Okay, so this is how it's something similar to that of the previous style, connector style. Okay, you can just connect to your audience, and you can just keep that rapport between you both. Okay, that is a free form style. And the instructor style is usually a manager when he is just trying to give an instruction to his co-workers, or the workers, or the people working under him. Okay, so that is like something like you give some instruction to them. Okay, so this is how you have to do. Maybe when you entered college. Okay, when they say that here you're not supposed to use this like this, and this is the dress code, this is how you have to act, this is how you have to behave, so you have to speak proper, in a proper mannerism should be just followed inside the college, and this is how you have to be inside the hostel. So when you just listen to all these presentations, something like they are instructing something to you, isn't it? So that is the instructor style. They are instructing you to do something, and you have to obey, and you have to go with that. Okay, so that is an instructor style. Okay, maybe they show the picture of the college, they show the picture of the hostel, how you have to keep it clean, how you have to go about. So all these will be instructor style. Then is the storytelling style. So whenever next is the storytelling style, where you just start your presentation with the story, or maybe in between, if you just want to communicate something to the audience, you communicate through a story. Okay, so that is how you just convey your idea to the audience. So that is the storytelling style. Okay. Next is the visual style. Visual style is you use some pictures in the background. Okay, you show some pictures, and then you just substantiate your idea. Not too many pictures. You shouldn't load yourself with too many pictures. So you can limit your pictures, you can limit the visuals, and then you can just speak a lot about what you would like to say. Maybe you are just talking about pollution. You can just show some pictures how we are polluting our nation, how we are just polluting the surrounding, and how we are just keeping ourselves always away from all these animals, and how are we just affecting the wildlife. Okay, all that we can just keep. Okay, so that can be there in the background, and the presenter can present how it is just going on. Okay, and all your PPT also can come under this. Okay? So not too many pictures and not too many bulleting. Okay, just keep it in mind. So don't use too many bullets, too many points. So some people, what they will do, no, here one picture, here some points, there some picture, here some points, there some pictures. So you don't know where to see and what to see and when to see. So you'll just get confused, and you will not be able to get any of the information that you have given. Okay, so you don't have any clear picture about whatever you have just presented. So it shouldn't be too many things put into one slide. So you should have, maybe you can have more slides, but you just limit your points in each slide. Okay, and whenever you have your visuals there, don't always turn back and just look at your visuals. Okay, don't do that. Okay, so even if I'm presenting, my slide is here actually, but I'm just looking into the camera because I just want you people to know that I am looking at you people and I'm just teaching. Okay, I don't want to look at the slides. Okay, so this is how it should be. You shouldn't always look at the slides or just turn back or just look always at the slide or you just look somewhere. Okay, you have to always look at the audience and speak. So what you have to do, even when you display something there, you can just have a slight look at it just to check whether it's the same slide which you want to be there. Okay, and then you go on with your points. Okay, just don't get stuck anywhere, and just don't stare at your visuals. It's your visual, you have just prepared, you know what you are preparing and when you have to present it. Okay, so just don't get stuck with all the presentation there. Okay, visuals there. Okay, so we stop here. Who is that one? Okay, so we stop there. So far, any doubts? Of course, you will be having some more fears. You just note down all your fears. When we have the next class, we'll discuss about those fears also. Okay. And your next assignment will be, you will be presenting your PPT based on the styles that we have given now. Okay. So I have given few styles, isn't it? Coach style, instructor style, free form, connector style. Okay. Visual and what is the one more or the final? Yes, visual. So these are some of the styles that we have given, 6 styles. So you have to choose one style from there and you have to prepare your presentation. Okay, you can give some instruction, no problem. You can give you can have a connection between the audience. Maybe you can just give them some games, or you can just give some questions, ask them to answer or ask them to do something. Okay, you can train them like a coach. Okay, you can train them. So all these are possible. Okay, or you can just use some visuals and say something out of it. Okay, so do it differently. Just don't use a PPT and just don't stick to it and just don't do. PPT can be a tool. Keep it in mind, PPT is a tool. It is not a style. Okay, it is a tool. You are using this tool to use one of the style. Okay, use one of the style and prepare. Start preparing. Anytime I'll ask you to present in the class. So you choose your own topic relating to the style, and you mention the style also in the chat box, which style you would like to. Okay, so in the next class you can come out with more fears so that we can just discuss and we can bring some solution out of it, and we'll continue with the presentation skill. Okay, any doubts here? See, if you have any doubts, you ask in the class. Don't ask after the class because I'll be rushing. Yes.
And the product launch will be in it will be in marketing. Like, the presentation they will do. The product launch.
Anything. It can be anything, but you have to follow the style. Okay.
Yes.